And then I guess it was about 2 years ago, I guess, she started to have lots of leg joint issues. She's torn her ACLs on both hind legs. She's had them repaired, but she's got terrible arthritic joints now from that area. And so we would try to give her some of those medicines that they give for arthritis and for joint renewal. And they tore up her stomach. She would get so sick from these meds. But then it got to the point where we would give her the med and she would get sick, but then she would get sick for 7, 10, 14 days. Like just that one upset would then trigger weeks of illness, and she would lose weight. And then it would get to the point where it was 2 days of me just giving her broth and then trying to get rice. Like she wasn't even really getting nutrients at that point, but we would have to build her back up. And then we would try one thing, like we would reintroduce her treats. And if she got sick, I was back on the clock for a week at least until I could get her back up to supporting her food. And then we got rid of the medicines. And then her health declined with her joints. And so we had to ask ourselves, what are we going to do here? Like her quality of life, is not what we want for her. And we even tried to make our own food. Like we took her kibble and I tried to boil it down with meat, to try to make it a stew. And then I would put filler in thinking that I was helping her. And then she would get sick. And I was like, well, was it the corn that I added? Was it the rice? Was it, it just never melded for us until we heard about hobbies. And then you said, hey, it's worth a shot. Like at this point, like I just go weeks of her not eating. You could feel her ribs on her sides. And then we were like, okay, let's try this. Jim, actually, you can tell about when you wrote up on it.
My father actually, he sent over an article that you guys were featured in around New Year's, I believe it was, on a local television station. And I, before I even watched the end of the video, I said, hey, let's order some. Let's try this out. So I got a couple of different things, and we put it on the food, and instantly she just started jumping in circles, getting ready to put the food down. We put the food down, and the first time she ever ate it, it was gone in 30 seconds.
That's great.
And the most important thing was it stayed down.
Yeah.
So I never once had any vomiting issues, but when we started to reintroduce the pills to her, because then we had a solid diet plan for her. If she did get sick, we would just give the gravy. We wouldn't give any of the kibble or any of the table food, because we do spoil her with lots of table food. She would just lick that, and I wouldn't have a week of vomiting. No. She would be fine like the next day. So then we would do about 2 days of the gravy, and then we introduced the kibble, and then there was no more vomiting, and then we did the pill. And now we've gotten to the point where she now eats, no stomach issues, and we can get 2 pills into her for her joints.
And there's enough nutrients and protein just to have it in the gravy alone. So if she does get the thing, literally just put that there and she laps it up, and it's the chicken, the liver, the omega-3s, the fish. It's all in there for her.
Mm-hmm. And then she'll limit herself. It's funny, like when she is not, I think, feeling well, or she knows like she doesn't want to eat, she'll drink the gravy. Like she'll lip it around the food. And if she doesn't touch any of her kibble, we throw the kibble out, and then we give her more gravy, because then we know that she's just needs that right now. And I don't have any vomiting issues.
No.
None. Haven't had any since I got the medicines in the right spot, and with the gravy, mostly the gravy.